Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is lecture number 15, unit number 8, functions and graphs. In this video lecture, we will discuss the exercise questions of exercise 8.2. Question number 1 is sketch the graph of the given functions. So in this question, we are required to draw or to sketch the graph of these two functions. Both these functions are linear functions, and you clearly see that they are non-homogeneous. This is also a linear function and this is also non-linear. You know from the theory that we discussed in previous video lectures, the standard or the general form of a linear function is f of x is equal to mx plus b. So we discussed that if b is not equal to 0, then this linear equation, which is in the general form, is called non-homogeneous linear equation. So these are the two non-homogeneous linear equations. Note the graphs of non-homogeneous linear equations are straight lines in two-dimensional plane. So graph of linear equations are always straight lines in xy plane. This is a linear function. Okay, if you take a linear equation, this is not a linear equation, this is a linear function. If the function is of the single variable, then that must be a straight line in the xy plane. So this is not in the solution. These are the points that must be kept in mind while you are sketching the graph of a linear function. Okay, so now we are moving towards the solution of the question. Now solution. What is important for the graph of the given function? The important thing is that actually graph of this function is a straight line, simplest form of the curve, which is a straight line. And you know that every curve in two-dimensional plane, xy plane, either if it is a straight line or if it is a curve in a certain fashion, is actually made from infinitely many points, and each point has ordered pair per their position. So you need to construct ordered pairs and then need to plot those ordered pairs in xy plane and pass a straight line to draw the graph of these two functions. But remember, it is not possible to plot each and every point of the line, mean to find all the ordered pairs, because the points which make the line are infinite. So it means that there must be infinite ordered pairs. So you cannot find infinite ordered pairs. So that's why we can calculate or we can find few of the ordered pairs and plot those ordered pairs in the plane and pass a straight line from those points. But what is the minimum requirement for sketching a line in xy plane? That is, the minimum requirement for the line is 2 points. So it means that you need 2 points. So I explained in the theory that if you are interested to just only find 2 ordered pairs, so then find such ordered pairs which are actually the x-intercept and the y-intercept of the straight line which you are required to draw in two-dimensional plane. So to draw the graph of these functions, I will take certain values from the domain of these function, put that values here in argument, and this function 2x plus 3 will be operate on that, you will get a value in y, assigning making together that argument and the output that you get by putting the argument in the function, make an ordered pair from that. So you will get different ordered pairs, but I am interested in such two ordered pairs which are actually the points which lies on the x-axis and y-axis, because the straight line will always pass from the x-axis and y-axis. So actually we are interested to find out the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So this is the area about to draw the graph of the linear functions. So now what you can do, how you can get values of x to put it here in place of the argument, and to get the value of the y according to that x. So this x is actually the domain. So what is the domain of this function? A is domain of f of x is equal to 2x plus 3 is the set of real numbers, because if you plug any real number, this function gives a defined value. So according to the definition of the domain is the set of real numbers. So now the choice is yours. The domain of this function is the set of the real numbers, which is denoted by capital R. Now for the graph of y is equal to f of x is equal to 2x plus 3, we assign some values from the domain, some values to x, to the argument from its domain. So what is the domain of this function? Domain of this function is set of real numbers, and find, when you plug a value from the domain, let's say let x is equal to 1, because this belongs to real number and real number is the domain. So put in f of x is equal to 2x plus 3, we get f of 1 2 into 1 plus 3. So this f of 1, this f of x is actually your y. So y you get against this x, you get a y equal to 5. So the ordered pair that you get here, the ordered pair is 1 5. So actually this 1 5 ordered pair is a point in a plane, and that is such a point from which the graph of this function will pass, mean from which the straight line will pass, which is actually the graph of this function. So that's how you can find the ordered pairs and find corresponding values of y. So this is the corresponding value of y for x is equal to 1, and find corresponding values of y in the range. You see it here. It is clear? So for that we make a table. The table is in this form. So this is just for your understanding. Now this is the table. This is x and this is y. Y mean f of x is equal to 2x plus 3. When you give 1 to this function, you get 5. So you get this ordered pair. So here let's say this is the ordered pair xy. So from here you will get 1 5 ordered pair. This is one point of the plane, and the minimum requirement for the line is just 2 points. Let's say I put -1. So you see, when you plug -1, so you will get +1. So -1 and +1 is another ordered pair, and you can give as much as you want values to the x, put it here in the given function, you will get the values of the y in the range. Make an ordered pair, plot these ordered pairs in the plane. But one important thing is, now you see, this is a okay, this is the minimum requirement, because the graph of this function is a straight line. So for the sketching a straight line, we need just 2 points, so we get 2 points. So this is enough. But one point must be kept in mind, that you will always find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Why x-intercept and y-intercept is necessary, I will explain it here after. Now first of all, I will draw the x-axis and y-axis. This is my y-axis vertical line, and this is my x-axis. This is x y plane. This is my x-axis. This is my y-axis. This is the origin. Now let's say this is 1, let's say this is 2, 3, 4. You may choose any type of scale you want. 1, this is 2, let's say this is 3, this is -1, -2, -3, and here downward -1, -2, and so on. So the first ordered pair is, you see that 1, 5. So let's say this is 4, and let's say this is 5. So 1, 5. So that is the point. This ordered pair is actually the coordinate of this point. Mean the position of this point is actually known by this ordered pair in this reference frame, in this xy plane. So this is your point 1, 5, and the other point is -1, 1. So this is -1 and this is 1. So this is the point which is -1 and 1. The x value must be passed in the ordered pair. Okay, so you can pass the graph, you can pass a straight line from these 2 points. But remember, there is a little ambiguity. Now you see, I am passing a straight line. So this is the graph of f of x is equal to 2x plus 3. But you see, this graph, which is the straight line, the graph of this function passing from x-axis and passing from y-axis, this is the point where this function passes from x-axis, and this is the point where this function passes from the y-axis. So this point is called x-intercept, and this point is called y-intercept. So it will be more better that you know x-intercept and y-intercept. So you remember this point. Always find x-intercept and y-intercept while you are sketching the graph of a linear function. So for x-intercept, you see the value of the y will be 0 because this is point lies on the horizontal line x-axis. And for the y-intercept, here the value of the x will be 0 because this is a point lies on the vertical line y-axis. To find x-intercept, it is so simple. Put y equal to 0. So now the given function is y is equal to 2x plus 3. So when y equal to 0, so this is 2x plus 3. So this implies that 2x equal to -3 implies that x is equal to -3 by 2. So -3 by 2 and 0. This point must be, let's say here is -2. So this point, the coordinate of this point is, remember, the coordinate of this points are -3 by 2 and 0. When you give a value 0 to y, so x will be -3 by 2. Okay, when you give -3 by 2 to x, y will be 0. And when you give x equal to 0, for y-intercept x is 0 because this is a horizontal point. So x is equal to 0. So a is y is equal to 2x plus 3. So when x is 0, so you get, this implies that y is equal to 3. So this must be 0, 3. So this is your y-intercept and this is your x-intercept. So this point must be 0, 3. So when you give 0 to x, you will get 3. So always plot x-intercept and y-intercept, because it is it will remain a doubt in the graph, because the graph is passing from the x-axis and y-axis, and you didn't know the point that from which the graph passing on x-axis and y-axis, because you didn't know the x-intercept and y-intercept. So it will make some doubts in the minds of the examiner and in the minds of the people that study that stuff. So that's why always draw the x-intercept and y-intercept, and you can also plot any you can also plot as many ordered pair as you can. But remember one point also, this is a point lies on the graph of this function, and the coordinate of this point is 1, 5. So this x, this is the value of x and this is the value of y, because the first value is the domain value. So here domain is x and y is your range. So remember, if this point lies on the graph of this function, you clearly see that the straight line is the graph of this function, and this point having coordinate 1 and 5 lies on the graph of this function. So this point will always satisfy this function. What does it mean? This function is actually y is equal to 2x plus 3, because y is equal to f of x. So instead of f of x, I can write y. So when I put this point in this function, it must satisfy this function, because this lies on the graph of the function. Means when I put this point here, mean in place of x I put 1 and in place of y I put 5. So the left hand side and right hand side must be equal. So you see that for y I input 5 and for x I put 1. So this implies that 5 equal to 5. So from here you also get an important point. Any point lies on the graph. If it may be here, 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 anywhere. So any point lies on the graph of the function, their points must satisfy the given function. For this point we have an ordered pair, the value of x and the value of y. So when you give that value to y and value to x from that point having coordinates, so you will always get left hand side equal to right hand side. So remember that point, that the points lies on the graph of the function will always satisfy the original function. If it is linear or non-linear, it will true for all functions. Okay. So this is the method to sketch the graph of the linear function. So this is the detailed method. Part number 2 is the assignment. This must be assignment. This is as it is, just 2 is replaced by 4 and 3 is replaced by -5. So this is same it is. The domain is also real numbers, set of real numbers. So you can draw the graph of this by same explanation. So this is the assignment. Sketch the graph of this function, and by same procedure as I did for this function, and send me on the WhatsApp. Thank you.